All right, welcome back to the show, everybody. Hope you all are having a good day so far. So, I've had someone in the comments for the last many weeks now asking for me to react to this video, and here we are. Finally, I'm going to react to it. Initially, I wasn't too interested. I'm going to be real. Initially, I wasn't too interested in this video, but after the continued persistence of these comments to react to this particular video, I figured there's got to be something special here. So let's give it a watch. This is from a YouTube channel called Thunder XP, and it is titled "You Are Being Lied To: A Look at the Numbers." Now, the YouTube I didn't see this before, but the YouTube channel being called Thunder XP makes me think it's going to be like a Thunder apologist kind of thing. So I'm actually curious to see what's going to go on here. Probably going to shape the video in a way that would get me in support of OKC. But honestly, like, OKC is not one of my favorite teams, you guys. I do respect their defense, but outside of that, like, I'm not the hugest fan of the way that they're hooping. And a lot of it has to do with SGA. I really tried to like the guy, but to me, it's a case of a guy who is so talented. He doesn't need to game the system, but he's still gaming the system, which is unfortunate because he is so talented. Like, his mid-range game, phenomenal. His handling of the ball, phenomenal. So when I see him like foul bait, it just kind of disappoints me because I know he's good enough not to have to do it. But anyways, let's see if this video can change my perspective on the OKC Thunder. I'm not like an OKC hater or anything like that. It's just, they're just not on my... they're not one of the teams I'm going out of my way to really watch this season. I'm just not that excited with them or their style of play. So anyways, you guys, let's get to this. I'm linking the original video down below in the description, like I always do. There you'll see a list of channel members. Shout out to you guys. I appreciate you guys. I say let's get right to this. The commenter has been waiting long enough, so let's get to it, guys. Like the video if you could. Hit that hype button if this is a video you want to hype. And let's go.
It is time to officially jump into the deep end here.
Ooh, cool graphics.
Talk free throws.
Oh, bro.
One player averaging almost a dozen free throws per game. Another on the same team averaging 8.6 a game.
Oh, I didn't know
and
that.
Between three players on this team taking more than 26 free throws a game.
Damn, it's like the
Lakers.
Lakers.
Which is more than 26 other teams take a game. And get this, since 2018, this team has led the NBA in free throw differential almost every single season and has taken more than 500 free throws than the next closest team to them.
Who, the Lakers?
And it's 1,000 more than the third place team. And get this one on top of it. They have taken almost 1,500 more free throws than their opponents over the past 3 seasons.
Holy crap, is it that bad? 500 extra free throws per season? 500? Hold on. 500 divided by 82 games. So they're getting an extra six free points a game. Damn, that'll help during close games.
This is just absurd. And the kind of thing everyone in the NBA is rightfully furious about. One team getting to the line more than everybody else, players getting more free throws than everyone else, and a seemingly lopsided whistle every single game.
I'd like to see the comparisons with the Lakers, though, because I thought the Lakers were still right there with them.
Oh, my bad. That's actually about the Lakers.
That's what I thought. That's what I thought this whole time. I was like, you're not describing OKC, you're describing the freaking Lakers. And yeah, it's one of the reasons why I'm a Laker hater, because no matter what, they're getting all of their free throws. With OKC, I never saw it as a team-wide issue. It was just kind of an SGA thing. But with the Lakers, it's the whole freaking team is getting free throws, especially Luka and LeBron. It's disgusting out there.
You wanted to know about the Thunder.
How does anyone support these guys, man? Johnny Arnett, where are you? How are you still a Lakers fan? They're rigging the games for you and you still can't win.
Didn't you? The team everyone...
Wait, hold on. Wait, what'd you say?
You wanted to know about the Thunder, didn't you? The team everyone is complaining about. The one that last
Not me, I've been complaining about the Lakers.
season, where they won 68 games while setting a historic mark for margin of victory, ranked 26th out of 30 teams in free throws attempted. They ranked 25th in total fouls called on them, meaning only 5 other teams had more called. They ranked 27th in opposing free throws allowed, ranked 23rd in total fouls drawn, meaning only 7 other teams had fewer fouls called in their favor. And for the season, on average, had 1.8 more fouls called on them per game and had a minus 3.3 free throw attempt deficit every single game.
J-Dub up top that time. They time it up.
Yeah, I don't know anybody who says OKC gets all the calls, but a lot of us say SGA gets everything. Here's the deal. If SGA was going up, I was looking for a clip here, but so far I haven't seen a clip that would support what I'm trying to say. But if you're going up for a jump shot and, you know, you're right-handed, so your left hand is your offhand, and your offhand literally like shoves the guy, like pushes off of the guy with your left hand while you continue to go up with your right, that's an offensive foul. That's what drives me crazy, is that he gets those calls where he's literally extending his arm to shove the defender, and then he flops away because of the impact that he created, and then he gets 2 free throws or an and one, depending on the situation. I never complained about the rest of the team, though. It's just this one thing in isolation that keeps happening over and over and over again, and we're not fixing the problem.
That team. That's the team that TikTok and Twitter and whatever else is telling you is ruining the NBA, that has a generational whistle, that gets the benefit of a tightly called game on one end and a loose one on the other. But these are just the numbers.
Okay, guys, maybe it's just me then. Are the rest of you guys accusing the entire team of getting favorable calls? Because I've literally just been focused on SGA and these ridiculous calls, but am I different? Like, have you guys all been pissed off about the whole OKC Thunder? Because like I said, that's been me with the Lakers.
The actual facts, the things that shouldn't be debatable. But what about the free throw merchant, right? Mm-hmm. The player that scores 32.5% of his points at the free throw line.
And it's not even how many he gets for me, it's the way he gets them. If he was actually getting hacked, it's a different story.
Wait, sorry, that's Jimmy Butler, number 1 in the league at that. I mean, the one that scores 30.7% of his points at the free throw line. Hold on, sorry, that's James Harden.
Oh, yeah. Well, I mean, James, you're not helping your case. James Harden is the one who started all this nonsense.
1% at the line. Timeout. That's Denny Avdia.
Yeah, we don't want to be comparing SGA to Harden. If you're doing that, you're losing. You're losing this battle.
Let me scroll down this list to find the one everyone is mad about online. Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, 25.7% of his points from the free throw line, ranked 13th in the NBA. And if you sort it down relative to a ratio of field goal attempts to free throw attempts, Shai is at 46.7%. Well behind Butler and Avdia, Luka and Castle, Harden and Banchero. Last season,
whenever you win the MVP, the crosshairs are on you. So that's what happened with Harden too. You get rewarded for this, and then everyone starts looking around and going, "Wait a second!" But he gamed the system in order to do it, and we did that with Harden. So now we're doing that with SGA. Yes.
In his MVP campaign, where this all really started, this conversation, this free throw merchant stuff, 24% of SGA's 2,484 points came at the free throw line.
Nice take. See what I mean? He's too good. He doesn't need to do
This was a budding narrative on social media last season that went mainstream when Chris Finch ranted about it after a Timberwolves win last season over the Thunder.
Yeah, it was
a
bad.
Game in which
it was bad.
The Timberwolves took 39 free throws, 10 more than the Thunder did in that game, by the way.
It's not about the whole team. You got to fix this narrative. It's about the one player.
You know, it's so frustrating to play this team because they foul a ton. You know, they really do. They foul all the time. And then, you know, you can't really touch Shai.
See?
And it's a very frustrating thing, and it takes a lot of mental toughness to try to play through it.
See, I feel like this video is coming from a dishonest angle. It's clear right there even, so it's not just me. He didn't say we can't touch anybody on the OKC Thunder. He said you can't touch Shea. All right, now with that, I feel like my point has been established. I'll kick back and listen. But like I said, when I saw this was from a channel called Thunder XP, I'm like, oh, they're going to try to like... They're gonna spin this with a narrative. So if I'm not paying attention, they'll get me, you know? And I think that's what it is. This video is pretending that that we're complaining that it's a team-wide favorability that OKC is getting, while really all I've seen and all I've been a part of is that SGA is a foul merchant and he gets every single call and he gets unlimited free throws. All he has to do is drive to the basket and shove off and he's going to get free throws. That's the real complaint. But for the next 20-something minutes, we're going to listen to somebody probably spin a whole different narrative that isn't even real and doesn't exist. Now let's go.
Came up again this season when Finch had a pretty clearly premeditated eruption on December 19th. The Wolves won that one too, and took 47 free throws in the game, by the way, 17 more than OKC did. In the wake of that tantrum, SGA's free throws actually dipped too over the next 10 games to just 6.4 a game. Now, a lot of people applauded Finch and took the position that he somehow woke NBA officials up to something. And if you're a surface level thinker, that probably makes a lot of sense to you.
Well, actually, I noticed this when it comes to calling out the LeBron stuff too. I'll notice a quick shift. So when we call stuff out and it's so blatant you can't ignore it, then the officials will shift for about a week or two, you know? They'll change how they're calling things, and then once we feel comfortable again, then they'll go back to the old ways.
But you're ignoring that Finch, like every team in the NBA, like the players themselves, is trying to gain an advantage. If you think that SGA foul baits, then call what Finch did media baiting. And it also insinuates to NBA referees that they can somehow be manipulated by loud yelling in their faces. And for the record, I don't think that's the case at all. NBA referees are elite at what they do and pretty immune to these kind of exterior forces.
Wow, you just lost me, man. You just lost me. If I was watching this on my own, I would click off right there. Like, are you kidding me with that statement about the referees? Say it again.
And for the record, I don't think that's the case at all. NBA referees are elite at what they do and pretty immune to these kind of exterior forces.
Yeah, I haven't heard in years that the referees are great at what they do. You watch the games, it's real. We're actually at an all-time, like, this is the worst we've ever seen refereeing. They don't even know what the hell's going on, I don't think. They can't explain it. They never explain stuff to us anymore because it feels like they're just making crap up as they go. You know, the rules are not what the rules are supposed to be anymore. So, yeah, I can't believe you made that statement.
It's almost assuredly just coincidental that SGA's free throws dip.
Oh, it's just coincidence. Yeah, no big deal.
But it certainly has not helped in terms of the preset narrative. And really, it was probably more coincidental and a casual...
More coincidences.
...of a more league-wide trend of free throws and fouls dipping. Maybe? But SGA's style of play hasn't changed at all, though. He led the NBA in drives per game the last 5 seasons and is second this season with basically the same number per game every season. For a guard, he lives in the paint as one of the most aggressive downhill attackers there is.
Yeah, he's got mad skill.
He's herky-jerky, start and stoppy, slithery, and unorthodox. He's not a bruiser like a Russell Westbrook or a Donovan Mitchell is now.
Yeah, and I'm surprised because he takes a lot of impact, and he's really, really skinny. He's really thin, but somehow he's pretty methodical, as you can see with his drives.
More of a craftsman, using change of pace,
patience,
in a variety of well-defined and honed moves to tilt his defender off balance, or to, yes, bait them into reaching. Whatever happened to you reach, I teach? But when you look at the numbers,
it's not the reach-ins though. It's if you're using your arm and literally shoving the guy, you know, that's not a reach. That's actually the offensive player reaching out and shoving the defender. So it's different. If he does, I mean, everyone gets fouled. The real fouls, I'm not going to complain. But when he's initiating the contact, I'll always complain about that. Complained when Harden did it. Complained when Luka does it. I'll complain when everybody does it, because that's what an offensive foul is supposed to be.
During the month of December, SGA was 24th in total fouls drawn. Avdia was number 1 at 103.
Wow.
Meaning, math here, SGA was 49 fouls behind him. SGA was behind players like Cade Cunningham and Kevin Porter Jr. and Brandon Ingram and Cooper Flagg. Players that have the ball substantially less, drive less, shoot less, and score far, far less.
Crossover, oohs from the crowd. Kornelus Alexander.
I'm thinking this year,
this idea that
by the time the season's over, I think it's going to be Luka this year that gets the most. And also, there's a lot of, I mean, Luka might win MVP this year. So if Luka wins MVP, if Luka wins MVP and he's the leader in free throws, now we've got we've got a repeated pattern happening. It's almost like the NBA is like gifting these type of seasons to certain players, but we'll see what happens. I'm just curious. I'm just putting it out into the air, and before we get there, just in case it does happen. But keep a lookout. I'm thinking Luka might be that guy this year, and I've seen him go to the line. Shoot, way too. Honestly, Luka this year reminds me of SGA last year. Like, it drives me crazy to watch these games.
On the free throw line is just so absurdly false that it almost doesn't need addressing. But let's put it this way. SGA led the NBA in buckets got last season by 67. He's leading the NBA in buckets got this season, again, by 30. He was third in the NBA in and ones last season with 61, behind two big guys in Giannis and Karl Anthony Towns.
That makes sense.
Meaning SGA plays through contact, not just playing for it. He's third again this season, already above 40 and ones. He averages 23.6 points per game without free throws, which would put him 20th overall in the league in scoring right now. He doesn't have a generational whistle. He is a generational bucket.
SGA surveys.
There it is. Did you see it? Did you see that one?
He is a generational
Finally.
bucket.
Like, because for me, I see this multiple times a game from SGA, but in this video, it's 8 minutes to get here. So here we go. See that? See that? See, why does it look like he got fouled? Why did it look like there's contact? He's actually pushing off to create that. Because if not, that would have been a clear line to the rim. There would have been nothing making him go this direction. In other words, he would have just gone straight to the rim. But he's pushing off. You see that right there? This is it. And then oftentimes you'll see a full extend. So you'd see this, like a full extension out.
Zigzag.
Now,
That's an offensive foul. That's all. That's where I'm coming from.
does Shea draw fouls? Yes, absolutely.
He also commits them.
Does he take advantage of the way defenders sometimes guard him to leverage a call? No doubt. Does he even sometimes embellish a little of the contact to get a call? Not denying that one bit.
That's fine. That was a real foul.
Why?
He didn't
because
initiate
he is
it.
no different than any other basketball player ever. You say that Anthony Edwards is Mr. Ethical Hoops, right? Well, here are 5
Whoever said that.
plays of him selling a call.
Whoever said that, though, I've never heard. This is the first time I'm hearing Anthony Edwards is Mr. Ethical Hoops. I'm feeling like there's a lot of narratives being created just for the video. Like, the creator is. I'm gonna stop. Let's get through it.
Edwards drives, layup. Edwards gets inside. Edwards goes inside, throws it up high. Turnover. Inside Edwards. Harsh for Jalen Brunson. Edwards. Oh,
I can hear his "hey" through the TV louder than any other player in the league.
I agree. That's annoying as hell. LeBron does it all the time, too. It drives me nuts. Every drive. Hey! Man, if you're getting fouled, they're watching. They're looking for you, buddy.
And that's not a criticism of Ant Edwards, by the way.
I don't like it. I honestly don't like that with everybody. It's the boy who cried wolf.
That is a different category of foul drawing. He's getting the referee's attention and showing him he got fouled with his voice.
Yeah, I agree.
Because he is a great scorer, and great scorers do this. They have the ball in their hands a ton. They get pressed by defenders more than others. And to balance the physicality, they sometimes need to demonstrate that they are being fouled.
That's terrible. Yeah, I don't like that call either.
They are just playing into the advantages every defender is trying to gain on them by pushing.
He initiated the contact. Again, this is why, like, that statement you made earlier, that the refs are great and they're elite at what they do. Are you fucking, I'm sorry, are you freaking looking at this stuff? You're putting it into video. Look at this. Tell me Reeves couldn't go straight up right there. He had perfect clearance to go straight up. But he chooses to lean in, which could actually injure this guy. It's not safe. He initiates the contact. That's an offensive foul. Keep telling me these refs are elite.
Pushing the limits of what the refs will call. Again, every
Why was that a foul? What did you see? These refs are so elite. Look, she's doing a great job because she saw something here, right? All right, you going up? No contact? No contact? All right, when are you going to blow the whistle? There? You saw nothing. There was nothing there.
Again, every great scorer draws fouls.
Weak.
At the peak of his powers, Kobe Bryant had 3 straight seasons averaging 10-plus free throws a game. Michael Jordan averaged 8.2 free throws a game for his career and had seasons where he took 11.9, 10.5, and 9.8 per game. Allen Iverson averaged 8.9 a game in his career with seasons of 10.1, 10.5, 11.5, and 11.6 a game.
Alexander on Iverson. Here's Allen for the tie. Yeah!
Were these all-time scorers foul-baiting, free-throw, grifting merchants? Or were they just guarded very tightly by defenders?
Out of all 3 of those guys you listed, the only one negative I could associate with foul baiting or whatever, foul grifting, whatever you want to call it, would be Kobe Bryant. He would do the rip through. So he'd face up with his opponent. He'd hang the ball low and then swing it back and forth, wait for the defender to stick his arm through to block his path to go up, and then rip through and initiate contact, which is actually still a foul. I mean, the rip through foul is actually a foul. If you stick your arm in there, I could go up for a shot. It's a natural motion. It is a foul. I just don't like it, but it is technically still a legit clean foul. Out of all 3 of the guys, that's the only thing I could say was a little iffy, but it was still perfectly, like, moral. You know what I mean? It was totally, like, ethical.
And knew how to leverage their aggressiveness.
I didn't see anything terrible happen until really James Harden. Like, James Harden came along and just gamed the entire system by just jumping into his defenders constantly and getting the foul calls. Like, that drove me nuts.
Against them. Just listen to what Shai's peers have to say about guarding him.
Like I said, he uses these angles. He knows how to manipulate the game in a good way.
He's like sneaky strong, and like he has like a bump that like you can't contest his shot once he bumps you. And the only way you can really, guard him one-on-one is if you beat him to a spot and hit him with your chest, which a guy like him who has so much wiggle, so much, shifty movements, it's hard to do. So
Damn.
Guarding him has to be a team effort. He's just so like sneaky strong, and he's got the step back mid-range, get to the rim, step back 3 now. Like, he's got it all. I just think he knows the game well. He's got an IQ where he can draw fouls.
Last season, Shai averaged...
Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't want to guard him, man. I like, even if the rules are like, even if you take away the foul merchant stuff, I don't want to guard this guy. He's fast. He's shifty, dude.
32.7 points per game. For players that average...
This is one of those you need the whatchamacallit rule to come back, the hand checking rule to come back to have a real shot against him. Because if he can go free form, just do whatever the hell he wants out there, like, how are you going to guard him? He's too quick, and his range is everywhere on the floor. Literally, right to the basket, mid-range, three-point line. The guy's deadly. I'll reiterate it once more. He's too good to be a foul merchant. He's naturally too damn good to have to do this. He could be great without it.
32 or more points a game in NBA history, SGA ranked 29th out of 34 in free throws attempted per game. I'm going to say that one again.
It's not about the whole team.
Because it's very important.
I'm going to say it again. It's
For
not about
players
the
that
team.
average 32 or more in NBA history, SGA ranked 29th out of 34 in free throws attempted per game. Since 2023, the most 30-point games with single-digit free throw attempts. SGA, 80. Steph Curry, 77. Donovan Mitchell, 73. Ant Edwards, 65. Jokic, 59. Luka, 58. There have been 91 seasons of 30 points per game, and SGA ranked 78th in free throw attempts. These types of numbers can just keep going. And just know, if you're arguing that Shea is great because of the free throw line...
No, I'm not arguing that. He'd be great without it.
You're just arguing against actual reality.
Yeah, I watch him play.
Off the deck. Oh! Buries another one.
And I suggest anybody watch some OKC games to form your own opinion. Forget what I'm saying. Forget what he's saying. Forget what everybody else is saying. Just watch a couple of games. You'll be able to see for yourself and decide for yourself. Because, like I said, he is so talented. But then, yeah, the foul merchant stuff kills me. And it did last year in the playoffs, too. That's where I really started rooting against OKC, was watching when they would call these fouls, like in crucial moments, the crucial playoff games. And I would see a left-hand shove off by SGA, and I'm like, you're really going to give him that in the playoffs? Like a game 6? In a playoffs, like really? And that's where my view really started forming.
Like you're taking something that has real objective truth to it, and you're arguing the other side of it, which is, and I hate to tell you this, but that's something that idiots do.
Yeah, but you're also doing the same thing on the flip side. You're trying to pretend like there's not a problem at all. So, yeah, I agree. Anybody out there who has the nerve to say SGA sucks and the only reason he's any good is because of the free throws, they don't know what they're talking about either. But now you pretending like there's absolutely zero issue with the SGA and the fouls, well, you're doing the exact same thing. So, yeah, no, there's some truth in the middle here.
Truthful.
Free throw deniers are basically the flat earthers of the NBA. Congrats if you're on that side.
And I know a lot of you guys be talking about, you guys be being funny, talking about he's a free throw merchant, he's this and he's that. Nah, man, Shea just plays the game the right way. He plays at a high level. You got to be a master manipulator out there, man. It's part of the game. All the greats have done it. For me, I look at him as one of the guys that's going to be the prototype for the next generation.
Now, I hear this one a lot too. It's not how many, it's how he draws them.
Yeah.
Well, newsflash, every player draws fouls, or tries to. There is a legitimate cognitive dissonance with some of these critics.
Yeah, and I disagree with all of these calls. Let's do it. And then after we do this segment, let's go back and watch the part where you said that the refs are elite.
Or the way that their own
that's bullshit right there.
Players get calls.
Honestly, I think he traveled. Hold
dissonance with some of these critics to
Let's
ignore
see.
the way
Pump fake.
that their
What's he doing?
own
Yeah,
favorite
he's shuffling his feet. He traveled before anything happened anyways, but that's definitely not a defensive foul.
players get calls versus how they complain about
Yeah,
Shea.
you can't lean into the contact like that, Luka. Offensive foul.
For example, remember this offensive foul recently that was called on Shea?
That is an offensive foul.
In a critical moment of the game against the Miami Heat, it was an unexpected call in the moment, and the NBA admitted a day later in the last 2-minute report that it was actually an incorrect call.
No, it's actually a correct call. This is what we've been asking for. Just get it right. So that's so sad. They actually got it right once, and then they retracted.
15 hours in between, the amount of people that felt like Shea was finally getting properly officiated, while also overlooking the number of times this has not been called an offensive foul, was jarring.
That's so sad. So they actually made one step forward in progress, and then it went right back. That's unfortunate, man, because it's got to start somewhere.
Actually quite informative for me, really. This isn't about a fair whistle and Shea. It's about an agenda against a player. Because if this were about a fair whistle Everyone could look at all these other examples.
We are, though. We are literally complaining about all of this. This is a big part of the reason that a lot of people who watch my channel don't watch any modern basketball. It's because of these tic-tac fouls, you know, and a big part of that is these offensive fouls that are being called as defensive fouls. It's a dumb, I don't even understand how Adam Silver allows this. Honestly, I would get all the refs in a meeting and be like, hey, we're fixing this problem right now. You know, read the rule book. We got to get this right now. No more initiating contact for the offensive player. If he does, that's an offensive foul. End of meeting.
Along with the fact that the NBA said, whoops, wrong call, and admit that it was a
okay,
weird
that's
call.
A foul. Now you see how the way the rules go. Hold on.
That the NBA said, whoops, wrong call.
Okay. You have to, as a defender, you have to allow the offensive player to go straight up for their shot. That's the natural shot form. So if the defender is not allowing them that space and there's contact, like you see here, that's a defensive foul.
That it was a weird call. The fact it was called that in the moment with SGA does raise some questions for me.
He leaned in.
As to why him in that spot. We'll leave that over there for now. And then there's the latest.
I could care less what team you are, what player you are, what your name is. I don't care any of that. I want the rules to be called even for everybody. And I want this one fixed.
Crash out. Mike Brown saying this after the Thunder beat the Knicks in MSG.
You know, SGA he's a tough cover, and he does a great job of convincing the referees, probably better than anybody in the league, that you know, he's getting hit.
Now, a bit of relevant context. SGA took a grand total of 7 free throws in this game, one of which came via a Mike Brown technical foul. His first trip to the line didn't come until almost midway through the second half. He drew 2.
So is that really the whole narrative of this video, is trying to like spread propaganda that he's not a foul merchant? When you can just watch the games and decide for yourself.
Shooting fouls the entire
propaganda.
game, both of which you can see were very clear fouls. And the one on Towns here, which went viral on social media because, as so many of these clips are, it was misrepresented and selectively edited.
What was that?
So many of these clips are, it was misrepresented.
Oh yeah, he got fouled.
And selectively
right
edited.
On the elbow.
Towns hit SGA across the wrist as he went into his shooting motion. The idea that SGA tilted and turned himself for no reason is pretty absurd because, again,
anybody who says that's a dumbass, honestly. That's a clear foul.
This is a player that is one of the best and one players in the league. Towns smacked SGA's wrist and dislodged the ball, so SGA tried to regather it and get it up on the rim for another and one.
There's nothing wrong with that one.
Broadcast never showed a clear replay of this play, but I was in MSG, and the video board in the arena showed it over.
It's a clear foul, in my opinion. Hold on, let's really take a look. Huh? Oh, you're going slow-mo?
Over again, which
clear foul.
Brown was intently watching, and then he chose not to challenge the play for a good reason, which, by the way, for all those apparent bad fouls in this game, Mike Brown still has his challenge in his pocket from the game against OKC.
Yeah, I don't know who's complaining about that one. That one's, that's a foul.
6 free throws, 2 shooting fouls, and 1 where the Thunder were in the bonus. We're talking about a grand total of 3 whistles in a 48-minute game that is causing uproar. Are you guys hearing yourselves?
No, because I'm not the one saying that stupid stuff.
Free throws.
All right, hold up.
2 shooting fouls, and 1 where the Thunder were in the bonus. We're talking about a grand total.
Okay, it's just his arm. Okay.
3 whistles in a 48-minute game that is causing uproar. Are you guys hearing yourselves? There were almost that many incorrect calls that went against the Thunder in that game's last 2-minute report. And if you want to add a 4th Shea whistle, there's the block charge play from the first half that had Mike Brown and others up in arms, which, as the NBA educated many about, it was the correct call, or really no call. argue around and around all you want about it. But at this point, you're arguing against rules.
What, that play? That was a charge. I mean, that's like clear as day.
It was the correct call, or really no call.
Yeah, no,
argue
good call. That's a charge.
Around and around all you want about it. But at this point,
you're saying there was no call there? Yeah, that's some bullshit. That's an obvious charge. He was planted.
You're arguing against
Brunson was clearly planted and way outside of that range.
Rules being applied correctly. So if you don't want that, what are you really saying?
We're really saying stop defending the referees because it is the referees' fault, and we need to correct these problems so that we can get the right calls going on in these games. So stop defending the referees by saying they're great.
So 3/4 whistles is what caused another crash out from a coach and fans and media. When you point that out, the default is about how he draws the fouls or how he's officiated or how OKC is physical the other way. Goalposts, they are always moving. Shea doesn't complain. He doesn't get texts. He doesn't bark at refs. He doesn't throw his arms up all game long. And I actually kind of wonder if this somehow works against him.
I really hope he doesn't start doing that, man. We have way too much of that in this league.
You don't see him outwardly whining all game long, so you assume he's not getting bad calls against him. But you watch Edwards or Luka, and they spend half the game with their arms up over their heads staring at the ref.
How about the creator, LeBron, who originated this?
So it gives you the impression calls are being missed. Think about it this way.
The fact that you mentioned Ant-Man instead of LeBron there, that's a little suspicious.
Let's say that there is a player that
I see a clear agenda here to be anti-Ant-Man and pro-SGA, and it's weird. You can like them both, but we can be critical of both of them, you know? Like I was about Ant-Man not being able to handle the double team until this year, and he's actually improving on it, just like I am with SGA and the foul baiting.
Few games shoots a really ugly air ball, but this same player routinely goes 5 for 8 from 3, shoots like 49% from 3, and statistically is just a really good shooter. But he has that one shot from time to time that hits the top of the backboard or that misses wide left by a foot. And so now it's become a bit of a meme, these ugly misses. And over time, that's all you ever see anymore on TikTok and Twitter about this guy. These misses are funny, the jokes are funny, and they get impressions. So you start thinking this guy is a terrible shooter because all you ever see are the air balls. You're not watching him play full games. You're not even really paying attention to the makes anymore. All you're watching are the air balls. So now it's confirmation bias every time you see one, and you're ignoring all the other stuff. And you're also ignoring that from time to time, other players airball too, like Kobe even. Look, this is basically an unwinnable conversation. I get that. I am completely screaming in to the ether right now.
I feel like you were overly biased. That's all. Like I feel like in your mind you thought that you could convince us that it's all legit. You know what I mean? And everything that SGA is doing is completely legit. And that's cool. I get it. You're a big fan. So you're defending your guy. But I think that's where you went wrong. It came off as disingenuous because of that. If I were to hear you in this video critique and say, yeah, you know, SGA once in a while, he does push off at the offhand, and that should definitely not be a defensive foul. However, in these circumstances, you know, these are cases of where it is an actual defensive foul. I would have been on board. But the fact that you haven't acknowledged that once in a 22-minute video, that's where I feel like this is in bad faith.
But if you cede the high ground on it, then you just turn it over to the TikTok casuals, and we can't stand for that. This is a narrative built on vibes and misinformation and clip confirmation bias. There isn't a single statistic that demonstrates anything to say Shea is unethically playing the game or getting some mythical benefit.
I did it. I formed my opinion by watching the games, and I watched enough games until I noticed that this is not an accident. This is a pattern, so that this is a league-wide decision. That the referees have probably discussed this. We know how this goes in the NBA, right? You know, we're not naive anymore. So it's a league-wide decision with the refs to say, okay, we're going to give him these calls. All right, let's give him these calls. He's our MVP this year.
The counterpoint is some random screenshot of Shea making a funny face while he drives to the basket. Great point. So yeah, that's what we're dealing with here. Minds have been made up, and with every free throw Shea takes and every clip that gets posted by
also
Brixton,
the fact that you only showed one clip, and I've been watching pretty close, where he actually shoves off with his left arm. Yeah, that's a little suspicious too. I would have liked to see the actual clips that we are complaining about. Because then if you would have showed those clips with what we are saying, that would have been great. But you also didn't represent what we're saying either. You know, you're saying you're basically saying that we think that Shea is a terrible basketball player if you take away the free throws. I don't hear anybody saying that.
It gets reinforced by the surface level thinkers. But for the rational people, the ones that have watched actual games of basketball, you know that none of that holds up. Let me put it this way. Are you going to listen to randos? Or are you going to listen to players?
No, I'm not going to listen to anybody. I'm going to form my own opinion by watching the games.
Play the game.
Why would I listen to anybody?
Coaches that coach the game and veteran people that have been in the league for years and years.
Those guys like LeBron, they're trying to recruit him on their team. Why would I listen to them? I trust my own eyes.
Do the Thunder play physical, intense defense?
Yeah, they do.
Yes, they do. No doubt about it.
Great defensive team.
And they get called for a lot of fouls.
They should, yeah. Defensive intensity should lead to more fouls, but it's worth it. It's worth it for them.
Because of it. More than most teams do,
yes.
in fact. Plus, the same people that whine about the NBA not having any defense apparently don't like a team actually playing hard-nosed defense.
That's not true. That's not true. We're talking about the foul baiting on the offensive end. I haven't heard anybody complaining about OKC's defense. Once again, this feels very in bad faith.
Kevin Durant said it very well.
No, no different than any other group. I mean, they play with physicality for sure, but that's what championship organizations do. I don't think they toe the line or anything. I just think they just play swarming basketball. They all rush to the ball. They play physical off the ball. They got great hands. They got good shot blocking center. So I don't think they do too much, anything extra. You know, I just think they play together and know how to swarm the basketball.
Yeah, I agree. It's actually it's a rare thing. They're great defenders on an individual level, but their team defense is phenomenal.
The last thing I'll leave you with. The best referees officiate the postseason. The ones graded highest by the NBA, the ones with the most experience. Games are more intense, more physical, more everything in the playoffs. A lot of players that have been reliant on free throws and foul drawing in the regular season often are in for a rude awakening in the playoffs. James Harden. En route to a championship, though, where he won Finals MVP, SGA averaged 30 points a game and made an average of 8.3 free throws per game. There is a difference in drawing a foul and faking one. And there is a difference in knowing ball and being an easily influenced idiot.
Yeah.
Don't fall for this airball.
Yeah, don't fall for propaganda, you guys.
Fouls according to rule is not new.
Don't fall
and since
for
y'all didn't
propaganda.
get it from my last video, I came with some reinforcements. That was a clear foul. Shea drives, you're no longer a legal defender, and you bump him off his path. Foul. And back to this clip. D-Book clearly walks under an airborne shooter and clips his leg. Foul again. Come on, y'all. Shea drives on a straight line path and gets bumped off his path again. That's a foul. I don't care if you like how he embellishes it. It's a foul. Since y'all love to compare eras, look at this foul right here that Michael Jordan drew. And according to y'all, in the most physical era, this was called a foul. Now check out MJ attacking downhill.
I don't agree with that either.
Pump fake, lean in, try to draw the foul.
I don't agree with that either.
That's what great players do.
Okay, so I feel like I talked way too much on this one, so I'm going to make this one very, very quick in the outro. Go back and watch the Western Conference Finals from last season. OKC versus Minnesota. That's if you want to form an opinion, just go watch that series and be completely honest to yourself on what you're watching. Do you think it's fair? Do you think it's ethical? Because I didn't. That's where I fell off and I started rooting against OKC, was that exact series. I felt like it was absolute crap what I was witnessing, and I feel like SGA initiated so much contact on offense and got so many free throws because of it In fact, like, you had the whole crowd booing. You had the whole like Timberwolves team up in arms about it. Like, it was bad. It was blatant. It was obvious. So you can listen to what I'm saying. You can listen to what Thunder XP is saying. Whatever you want to do, or you can just go in, watch some basketball, because it was actually good basketball, but it was just unfortunate calls. And decide for yourself. So I'm sure the games are on YouTube, you guys. Go check it out if you want. I'm going to leave you with that, because I do believe, after watching a video like that, that's really, really trying to like brainwash me into believing what he wants me to believe, I don't want to tell you guys what to think. Go formulate your own opinion. You've heard my opinion, and I am not going to tell you guys what to think. Go figure it out yourself. You just heard one person's opinion. Actually, you heard two people's opinion. You heard Thunder XP's, and then you heard mine. So what's left? Go figure it out. Go figure it out for yourself. All right. To the commenter who has been begging me to watch this, I'm not sure I reacted to this the way you wanted me to, but I always got to keep it real and be genuine. And the tone of this video rubbed me the wrong. I've been lied to and bullshit a lot in my life, and I used to be very gullible and naive when I was young. So I knew, like, a 20-minute setup of me feeling like this is a salesman selling me some snake oil. It really rubbed me the wrong way right off the get-go. And it was a video telling me what I think and why I think, and that's bullshit, because you don't know me. You don't know me, and I feel like it was just in bad faith and misrepresented, because all the things that guys like me are saying about SGA and the Thunder, they're not actually being represented here in this video. Instead, it's completely different narratives. All of a sudden, like, people have a problem with OKC playing good defense. I've never heard this in my life. This is the first time I'm hearing it. So then when you're disingenuous with these types of accusations, to me, you lost the audience, or you lost me at least, because it's misrepresentation. It's not honest. So anyways, that's how I felt about it. And be water, my friends.